With only 4 major snowmobile manufacturers building sleds, it is a very competitive marketplace indeed. Keeping ahead of market trends is a constant battle with each manufacturer. Recently, we had a chance to sit down with Steve Cowing to find out what direction BRP is heading with the Ski-Doo brand.
The A600 and the E-Tech 800R position us very well in the future for 2012 EPA requirements. We now meet those with those engines straight on. We have the E-Tech 600, we have the Fortec 1200 in our portfolio of motors. So that gives us a real advantage over a lot of makers of snowmobiles right now. We can answer a 2-stroke guy's needs or a 4-stroke guy's needs. When you look at the individual models that Ski-Doo Snowmobiles is putting out this year, I mean, we got everything from the bottom end of the entry level, like an A600 in a TNT platform, or an A600 in a Grand Touring platform, and all the way up to a Summit with an 800R, 155 plus horsepower, meant to climb straight up a hill. And then we got the MXZ XRS package for the really extreme bump rider. And we've got a nice touring machine like the Grand Touring 1200 SE. Every creature for comfort on it you could think of. So really we're kind of trying to address the whole market, and as the largest manufacturer of snowmobiles, that's really kind of something we've taken on ourselves over the years, and that's what helped get us to where we are today. Trying to match the price with what the consumer wants is very difficult these days. Obviously they want the most they can get for their money, and we're trying our best to deliver on that. Things like E-Tech technologies, though, and 4-stroke motors cost a lot of money to produce. Features like heated seats, really nice tall windshields that are very clear to see through, multifunction gauges, all that stuff ends up adding cost to the price of your vehicle. Now the consumer wants that, and if they're willing to pay for it, we can certainly supply it. The real challenge is how do we provide an entry-level machine at a really, really cheap price and easy for people to get into sport.
Supply and demand dictates many things when it comes to appeasing customer wants and needs, which makes it extremely important for the manufacturers to pay close attention to all the feedback that they receive and to build sleds for all market segments.
Well, the first thing you gotta look is at the core market. You know there's a certain purchase recycle that everyone has, so you want to make sure you're taking care of your core market first. Then you try to identify niche markets where you see emerging things happening, like we introduced the free ride this year. Huge response to it so far. We think it'll be a huge success. We see people that are doing the same things we provided them with stock out of the box in the garage with their own machines to customize it. So we took basically a race sled, put a longer track on it, put some handlebars on it that are tapered aluminum bars, made it into what we'll call the free ride, and it's for the guy coming out west here that really likes to get aggressive on the hills out here. He might be dropping off of some pretty big bowls, he might be doing some jumping, he might be doing all kinds of stuff like that. Again, we saw that niche market developing, so we went after that with a product that we thought answered it.
There's no question technology has played a huge part in the development of the snowmobiles we ride today, and the competitive nature in this business, like any other, keeps bringing out the newest bells and whistles on current and future models.
If you're studying machine on your own, having a stud template can definitely help you along the way with proper guidelines in a proper stud pattern.
We build what we call a template. The template we have here today is a 2/8/6 pitch for the Ski-Doo single ply track. Now Ski-Doo has done a very good job of pre-marking holes in the track, so you don't need a template. But what some people are not happy with the amount of pre-marked holes in the track, they can expand it using a template. Template gets your proper stud placement. It guarantees you're going to have the maximum amount of scratch lines, and it also, what we build into this is safety factors as far as what people really don't realize, that they may have a tunnel protector in there, that if they don't use the template, they may be putting a stud right over top of where that tunnel protector is. So like in the Ski-Doo, they have a tunnel protector up in the front bulkhead that you wouldn't see unless you took that sled over. So our template will not allow you to stud where it's going to interfere with that tunnel protector.
It's important to remember that if you're going to stud your machine, that you make sure you match your model with the right template to be sure the studding is done correctly.
Freedom. I've had watercraft and other ATVs, but there seems to be more support for the snowmobile. There's lots of trails. You can go almost anywhere you want, and then if you don't want to go on the trail, you don't have to. That's what I really like about it.
When STV returns, how power steering works.